Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Matt Murphy. This is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. If you're just getting off work, congratulations. You made it through your Monday. Maybe some of you still on the job. If that's the case, we hope to make it smooth sailing until quitting time. Our quitting time is at about 7 o'clock tonight. We appreciate your participation, either passively listening to the radio show on a variety of different platforms. You can also actively participate in the show. Normally, I would tell you, hey, the Super Text line is up and running. But, Jackson, guess what's not up and running?
The Super Text line.
Very good. That's well done by you. I can tell that you were publicly educated at the University of Tennessee. That's correct.
Go Vols.
The Super Text line is not up and running right now, so you can join us on the chat feature of the YouTube page and see how that side of the thing does it, because it's a little crazier over there. But if you want to join over there, you may do so as that is up and running. You can also hit us up on the caller lines. Call-in lines open and available, 615-737-9986. I'm having I don't even know if I'm supposed to tell you about this, but I'm having a beer summit with someone tonight.
A summit?
That's what I'm going to call it.
All right.
I'm having a beer. I'm not going to tell y'all where, because I don't want y'all running roughshod over the place. But anybody wants to? I'm serious. Anybody want to guess who I'm having a beer with tonight?
Dan Mandis.
No, Dan Mandis is already in bed, buddy. There's zero chance that I get Dan Mandis out at 7:30 on a Monday night.
Yeah, that boy's already asleep.
He's in bed by now. Any other guesses? Mayor Freddie O'Connell.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
I don't know that I'm supposed to talk about that, but it's true. I'll let you know how it goes.
Great.
I'll let you know how it goes. I'm very excited. So that was my tease. What was the other thing I teased, Ken? Do you remember?
Yeah, you were going to talk about marijuana.
Oh, yeah. The dope.
Yeah, the dope.
The ganja.
The Maridahoochie.
The wacky tobacco. The rabbit weed.
Rabbit weed.
The old left-handed cigarettes. Look, I do not believe in a government powerful enough to take away your ability to choose how to live your own life in that fashion. I understand that our pharmaceutical industries have, in laboratories over the years, developed products that we consider to be harmful to the American people. And if those products are so harmful that they need some level of monitoring or surveillance or supervision with regard to how these things are passed out, so be it. I understand that, because these are man-made devices. These are man-made inventions. These are things that are coming from laboratories made by man that can potentially do great harm to man if consumed by man. But I hesitate to suggest a government should get so powerful that they have the ability to prevent you from making a decision as a grown person as to what you can or cannot consume, particularly when it's something that is naturally occurring on planet Earth. And yes, I understand opium, and I understand the poppy. I understand all of those things when I say all of this to you. I do not philosophically believe that the government should have a right to tell one human being what they may or may not put in their body. So long as that person has the ability, the freedom of mind and of spirit to understand what they are consuming and the consequences of what they're putting inside of their body. I believe it's ultimately the individual's responsibility to make those decisions for themselves. It's their responsibility to get all the information that they need. It's their responsibility to absorb that information and ensure that what they are doing is consistent with how they want to live their lives. It is not up to the government of the United States of America or any other government devised by man to tell me how to lead my life so long as I'm not depriving rights of other people. It's just not. It's inconsistent with the concept of individual liberty. And it leans into this idea that government is supposed to be there to nanny us and to instruct us as to what we may or may not do. I understand that personal decision-making ultimately might have consequences on the greater community. And there are methods by which the greater community can lead in preventing some of those negative consequences. Look, I'm a big advocate for charitable-based organizations, church-based organizations, community groups to attempt to walk us in a civilized manner and push society in a particular direction. I do not believe that you succeed in doing that with government mandates. The bottom line is I do not believe that marijuana should be illegal. And I understand that many of you vehemently disagree with that. I get it. That does not mean that I'm an advocate for pot. I'm an advocate for freedom. I'm an advocate for liberty. And liberty comes with responsibility. And society has not been, frankly, hard enough on those that choose the road of liberty but refuse to take the responsibility for that liberty that they enjoy. In other words, we have mollycoddled people on the other end, making it harder for me to argue for liberty on this end. Does that make sense to y'all? If you have children, you have the right to raise your children in a fashion of your own choosing. But if I find that you're abusing your kids, we need to take a hard-end approach on that. And I'm using this as an example. We need to take a hard-edge approach on that end to make sure that if you have the liberty to raise those children in a manner of your choosing, that you are taking responsibility for how you're doing it as you're raising them. That's where society needs to look out for the lesser than. So I welcome, the reason I bring this up, Donald Trump has announced that he's looking at rescheduling marijuana classification across the United States of America. Laws, restrictions, and regulation regarding consumption of marijuana have done little to nothing to prevent the consumption of marijuana. Laws that are passed that have embedded in them a moral component do not change the morality of the individuals that these laws might impact. They just don't. Nor do I look to my government to be the morality police. I go to church for that. Why in the world? You know, the concept of the separation of church and state was always to protect the church. It was never to protect the state. We've completely got that backwards now. Why in the world would I want state intervention into the workings of the church? I don't want the state involved in anything having to do with my soul. Thank you very much. I'll handle that on my own, too. That is called taking care of my own business, not looking to the state to take care of it for me. 615-737-9986. Would love to hear from you. TR is on this subject. Hey, TR, how are you?
I'm doing good. I like what you said about, like, getting to choose what you do with your life and stuff. I agree with that. I'm okay with them legalizing it. I just wish they would legalize it and then tax it at, like, 300% to pay off our national debt. I feel like that's a suitable way. If you want to do that, you're just going to have to pay your fair share.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's a little more of a difficult – I would suggest that the task is a little more difficult with marijuana because it's a naturally occurring substance. And if you tax it, the reason that we don't have bootleg alcohol nowadays is because the price is so reasonable at the liquor store that it's just far easier to go to the liquor store. Does that make sense?
Correct.
So there's a balance there, but I don't have a problem with throwing a sin tax on it and trying to push that sin tax toward paying off the national debt. I would be fine with that.
Well, thank you for your time.
Hey, TR, thank you for the telephone call. I appreciate you. I just trying to give you the ability to speak on this subject as well. It's 17 after the hour. Let's see. You know, I've got horrible eyesight. I can see all these names, but I can't see how long they've held. Has Alan held the longest? Which one should I go to there, Jackson? You tell me which guy or gal is the favored line.
Let's get to Alan. He's held the longest.
Alan's held for a while. He wants to talk about RMDs, which was brought up by old Mike from Old Hickory. Hello, Alan.
How are you?
I'm great, Alan. I hope you are.
I'm great. Yeah, I'm 74 years old, so I've been doing this for a couple of years, and so I thought I'd call and tell you about it. It's for me, it's not near as awful as Mike was talking about. But here's the deal. When the government says that if you put your money in an IRA or a 401k, then it's tax deferred, which means you don't pay any tax on that money when you put it in there, and they'll tax you when you take it out. But they don't say that you can just leave it in there forever. There's, if you take it out early, you're going to be penalized and you're going to be taxed. So I think the ages have been kind of going up as time goes by. When I turned 72, I was going to have to pay the required minimum distribution, and they changed the law at the last minute and made it 73. So I waited another year. But anyway, it's basically, mine is basically a little less than 1% a year that I have to take out of there. And if I just took it and put it in my pocket, I would have to include that in my income with all the whatever other income I have. But what me and my wife are doing right now is you can, if you send that money directly out of your IRA or your retirement account straight to a charity, then it's totally untaxable, no matter how much it is. So we do a lot of that. We spend a lot of our RMDs on charity. But that's basically the way it works.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I think my instinct was correct. I did not want to assume anything with Mike's call, but my instinct was if the government's going to give you an opportunity to invest money tax-free, they're going to get their taxes at some point down the road. And so it feels like this is just a way to make sure that they do get their taxes on the back end, outside of that charitable component that you're describing.
And they've got some kind of weird formula. Of course they do.
Right. Well, I bet they do.
It figures out how much each year you have to pay.
Great call. Great. That's good info, Alan. I appreciate the telephone call and thank you for it. I am proud to note that the Super Text line is back up, and I'm proud to note that you guys did not let me escape my tease. Ken Weaver was correct. One of the teases that I had thrown out there was the weed tease. The other was Marsha Blackburn and debates. That was the other one. But before we get to that, someone has sent me a full list of nicknames for marijuana, Ken.
Okay.
I don't know. Some of these are more familiar than others. Mary Jane.
Mary Jane, yes. Sir.
Doobie.
A doobie, yes. Dope.
Aunt Mary. AstroTurf.
Never heard that one.
Green Goddess. Bud. Cabbage.
Bud.
Catnip. Magic Dragon. Wisdom Weed. I never got any smarter.
Have you ever heard of the wacky weed?
Oh, yeah, Wacky Tobacco. Oh, yeah.
My favorite's the devil's lettuce.
The devil's lettuce. Oh, man.
Devil makes a mean BLT.
Blunt. Broccoli. Hashish. Herb.
Yeah, herb.
KGB stands for Killer Green Bud.
Have you heard the term tree?
I've not heard tree.
That's one.
Tree? Let's see. I've heard tweeds. That's one. I don't know what lime pillows means, but that's in this list, too.
Apparently that's weed.
Apparently that's weed, too. So, real quick, my take on Marsha and debates. Marsha Blackburn was offered an opportunity to say whether she would debate John Rose, and she was non-committal on the offer. I tried to find this audio, and I couldn't find it. It was at a radio station in Chattanooga, and they asked, are you going to debate John Rose? And she just kind of didn't answer the question. I've been through this before, and I like Senator Blackburn for what it's worth. I appreciate her appearances on this radio show, and I've seen her out in public. And frankly, I find Marsha Blackburn, there are some that would suggest that when she's on the air, that sometimes her answers seem performative in nature. And I'm not knocking Marsha, but I'm just telling you my experience. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about. She's far more personable in person. I mean, I've watched her work a room, and she is very good at it. But she was, basically saying, will you debate John Rose? Will you step up? I mean, you're throwing your hat in the ring. John Rose's hat has been thrown in the ring. He's talking about getting an opportunity to stand on a debate stage with you. Are you willing to stand on a debate stage with him? And she was kind of non-committal. I'll give you my response to that right after this, plus your calls. 23 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Thank you much, Ken Weaver. Getting to that newscast in mere moments, getting your telephone calls as well. Talking about the race that is the governor's race. I encourage you to not make a decision until at least 2026. The reason I do this, obviously the candidates want you to make a decision as quickly as possible, because once you do, psychologically, it's hard to get you off that pick. I mean, to use the football example, which is the easiest one that I can think of off the top of my head, I mean, once you become a Boomer Sooner, I mean, I know it's hard to believe, but it's hard to get off that Boomer Sooner. Once you become a dog, I mean, before you know it, you find yourself barking on Saturday afternoons. It's awful. Awful.
What are you talking about, man?
My point is this. Once you get on a candidate, you're going to stick with that candidate.
Yes, sir.
They want you to do that as early as possible. They want you to ride that pony for as early as possible, long as possible. Do not pick a candidate. Allow these folks to get your vote the honest way by earning it. And once they have it, they don't have to earn it anymore. Does that make sense to everyone? So hold on to that. You don't have to declare anything. Keep your mind open for everything. This is not a knock on Marsha. It's not a knock on John. It's not a knock on anybody. It is your vote. You hold on to it. You don't need to declare yourself right now. It's a year from now before you'll go to the polls and vote. Now, they want it, and that's why all these pollsters are going to be calling you. Hey, how you voting? You voting Marsha? You voting John? You voting third party? How you voting? Say, it's not 2026 yet. No. Hold on to that. It's precious. And oh, by the way, as far as debating goes, I don't care what the polls say. If you're asking for a job, you are expected to apply for the job. And part of that application process, in my mind, is you stand on a stage for an hour and you stand there with your contemporary opponents and you tell me why you are better than them. You do that not out of respect for them. You do that out of respect for me, whether it's Marsha Blackburn, John Rose, or anyone else. And I'll say this to Marsha, too. I love you. But if you're not debating, that's a problem. Now, I figure you'll come around and you'll do the debate. 31 after the hour on Super Talk. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. You know, I hurt myself for my art. I do. I had to take off the sling. I got sick of it. I can't type with one hand anymore. I can't do it, y'all.
Is it because you got spoiled on Friday?
And over the weekend. I went without the sling over the weekend for a good amount of the weekend. I'm allowed to. I'm allowed to, though. I'm told that after 6 weeks, I'm allowed to take the sling off.
All right.
And work the arm a little bit more. The sling in public, Ken, is mostly for other people. So
Gotcha.
But I admit that I'm working it out to the point that I'm experiencing soreness now because my typing fingers. By the way, 1733 has written in, and I think they speak for a lot of people. Before we get into nincompoops, which I don't have a nincompoop today. I'm going to have to find a nincompoop between now and my nincompoop story. Let's see if I can do it. I thought WTN was a conservative talk radio. A conservative talk radio. It sounds like you're turning liberal. Here we go. Here we go. Only liberals want legalized drugs. I don't care how you're going to try to spin it to make yourself feel better about saying it's our liberty, but that's not a conservative value. We should shut all restaurants down on Sundays, too. Your thought process is to legalize all drugs because we should have a choice. That's not what I said. Legalize all drugs. I said naturally occurring substances. Have a choice, but to do that, but then what happens then? The irresponsible, drug-crazed individual breaks into my house trying to steal stuff so they get more drugs or drive while intoxicated. So they're jacked up. They think I'm a monster and try to kill me. Then that affects me and my family, and I didn't ask for it. And I responded, I'm a libertarian. I believe in individual freedom. I'm not a statist liberal. There's a difference. Is alcohol a drug? Do you believe alcohol should be legal? If so, are you a liberal? Should cigarettes be banned? Should caffeine be legal? Both drugs. The response was, you're on a conservative talk radio. Know your audience. Sir, I've been on what is considered conservative talk radio for 26 years. I promise you I know the audience better than you do. I mean, I'm not trying to be snotty, but I promise you I do. I thought you would be smarter than this, Matt. You preach about saving our country and fixing the debt, yet promote a great pacifier of men. How can men pay attention and fix the nation when they're predisposed and high on drugs? Because you make your own decisions based on a higher authority than government. Sadly, far too many of you don't get me on my soapbox, and I'm already there. Far too many of you conservatives look to government as your God. That is liberal garbage. Stop looking to the government to act as God. Go to the church, get in the pulpit, and pray to God for our salvation, not to the government for our salvation. The government is not there to create salvation for you. God is there to create salvation for you. Don't get me started on this. What do you expect out of government? If you believe that, then you should believe in a society that prevents individuals from drinking alcohol, because alcohol is a net negative on society, sir. You should believe in a society that prevents people from smoking cigarettes or anything else for that matter. And let's go a couple of steps further. Sexual addiction is a problem too. Maybe we should stop wearing these mini skirts around town, sir. I mean, am I not correct? Is this not a net negative on society, sir? I mean, if we're going to go there, let's go there. If you're looking to government to create that moral city on a hill, I'm not suggesting that all of us internally shouldn't strive for that, but that is a relationship, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, sir, and I could be so very wrong, but in order to get to the root cause of the rot in this country, we have to direct our relationship to God, not to Washington, D.C. For far too long, we've looked toward Washington, D.C. as a salvation, and it's been nothing but wreck and ruin. And yet you still do it. Let's get more people to church. Let's get more people to charitable organizations and to community centers. Let's get more people rallying around the flagpole in our city centers and not concerned regarding passing a law based on what the other guy down the street might be doing in the privacy of their own home. And oh, by the way, if someone violates your rights, your liberties, of course you put them in jail. Of course you do. And that's my high horse. And that is a mantra that is based on a belief in liberty. I don't advocate the use of drugs, any drugs. That's not what I'm here for. No. And I don't look like the liberal statists in America to government to demand that you change the way that you act in your daily life. That's not the way that I believe our founding fathers believed in any of this either. And oh, by the way, sir, if you want to talk to me about the America that we believe in, the America that we were founded, the American principles, the concepts of freedom and liberty that we were founded on, I mean, George Washington grew pot. Yeah, I know what he used it for, but it does not change the fact that George Washington grew pot. And I'm not here to pander to the audience and just say what the audience wants. I'm not. I believe in liberty. I believe in freedom, and I will always believe in those things. But I appreciate your viewpoint. I appreciate and value 1733, what you think I'm here to do. But I'm not here to confirm the way you believe about things. I'm here to tell you the way things ought to be, in my opinion. In my opinion, and I'm just one guy. Let's do nincompoops in the news. All right, let's lighten the load, men. It's 44 after the hour. We'll get to Dave and Ryan and Logan and, well, all of y'all on the phone lines coming up in just a moment. Y'all hang in there. We're going to lighten the load with Jackson Williams. He's behind the glass. He makes sure that everything that comes out of our speakers sounds as good as humanly possible. He takes the angry telephone calls when I get on rants like I just got on just a moment ago, and he thrills us with joy during Nincompoops in the News. Hey, Jackson.
Hello.
All right, enough about you. There's Ken Weaver. He's behind you. He's in News Closet B. What's up, Ken?
How about you boys?
We got some nincompoops today.
I got one.
I got one.
Do you?
You got one?
Nope. But I'll have one. Don't y'all worry.
You'll find one, Brother
I'll
Murphy.
be there before you know it. Who gets to go first today?
Brother Weaver, because he cleaned your clock on Friday.
That's what I hear. That's what I've been told. Ken Weaver, I'm glad you're going first. It'll give me a chance to find one. Let's do this.
Here we go, boys. I got this from the New York Post. A bumbling adult trapped inside Chuck E. Cheese arcade game. California firefighters come to the rescue. A klutzy California woman freed from the inside of a Chuck E. Cheese arcade game after shoving her arm into a narrow tube, all while a small armada of confused children looked on. The young woman, who had to sit on her knees to even fit inside the capsule designed for young children, was rescued by a crew with the Burbank Fire Department. The Snow Day machine has users step inside where soft snowballs rain down on them. Users are to then place the balls into the indicated scoring holes to rack up points. The game is only supposed to last a few minutes, but the woman's attempt to cheat the system turned it into a nearly 1 hour ordeal after she got her arms snagged in a narrow tunnel. The entire time, a group of children seated in the booths watched on in clear fascination as the firefighters worked to get the helpless woman out. Little known, let's see, where's that? The game doesn't typically pose a risk to players, a spokesperson for Chuck E. Cheese assured, adding that the young adult was playing one of the games intended for children and decided to stick her arm in a hole not intended for hands or arms. The arcade game was created for some of the youngest children. What's funny is that you look at the picture and this woman is just completely stuck in this machine and people are just standing around staring at her.
What's going on at Chuck E. Cheese lately, man?
Don't stick things where they're not supposed to go.
Yeah,
is the moral of this story.
She got up in it.
I mean, in it.
Yes.
Good gracious.
And people just stood there laughing.
I've seen images of kids in some of these machines too, but I've never seen.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. She's in it.
Yes.
Good gracious.
And that's why she couldn't get out.
How old you think?
I think it
Did it
said
say?
she's.
Said young adult, so probably somebody about my age.
She looks like she's in her 20s.
20s.
Yeah.
She should be left wherever she is for a good period of time, so she can think about what she's done.
You got to sleep overnight with your hand stuck in the
Just
snow machine.
whatever you got stuck, you just has to stay stuck for.
They got
just a little bit of
pizza
time.
there.
They do. I mean, yeah, it's not very good pizza.
Well, and she couldn't have any because she'd have got grease on them snowballs.
Well, I mean, she could have. She just have to eat them with a knife and fork. All right, I get to go second
Why?
because I got a story.
I got one.
Where's your story? Where's your from?
Across the pond.
Okay, you can go. You can go second. Then. I was just worried you're going to steal mine. I just found it.
EasyJet pilot suspended after drunk and naked incident. EasyJet is suspended one of its captains after he was reportedly seen roaming a luxury hotel drunk and naked. The unnamed pilot was witnessed walking through the common areas of a five-star resort in Cape Verde without any clothes on in the early morning hours of August 5th after an extended drinking session in a bar, according to The Sun. He was due to operate a return flight to Gatwick more than 36 hours later, but was grounded after the budget airline received complaints about the incident and found a replacement pilot. An EasyJet spokesman told BBC the pilot now faces an investigation and that the safety of passengers and crew was its highest priority. The captain arrived at the Meladunas Beach Resort and Spa in the West African island nation on the 4th of August and proceeded to begin drinking. At around 2:30 local time the following morning, hotel guests reportedly saw him strip off and wander into the reception area before moving on to the gym and spa, according to the newspaper.
Yes, sir.
Have y'all ever been? This reminded me for some reason. I mean, I'm probably 21, 22. I think I was flying to New York. And this is probably the fourth time I'd ever been on an airplane in my life. It was in Atlanta, Georgia. And I remember this like it was yesterday. You know how when you walk on a plane, and it used to be a little more casual than it is now, but you'd walk on a plane and the pilot and the first officer kind of standing there at the door of the plane, kind of just standing around, saying hey to folks.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how are you? Hey, nice to see you. I remember walking by this pilot, and I overhear the pilot saying to the co-pilot, man, I tied one on last night, and then it just faded off. I'm like, I was like, what? Am I supposed to say something to somebody about that? Because that doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right.
Got a hungover pilot.
Maybe it's the same fella, Jackson. I don't know.
Was he naked?
He was not. But this next fellow is that I'm about to tell you about,
right.
or was. Florida man. Try to get this image out of your head, y'all. By the way, found this story 4 minutes ago. And I'm proud of it.
I think I know what you're going with.
I'm proud of it. Responding to an indecent exposure complaint, police found Anthony Smith, 32 years of age, walking around a Florida park Thursday afternoon. This is this past Thursday, wearing the following. Women's lingerie, the bottoms of which were, quote, of the thong variety, which left Smith's genitals fully exposed. Number 2, fake breasts. Number 3, a wig of long black hair. Number 4, a black mask around his face. Number 5, I can't tell you what number 5 is. I don't know of a way for me to say it to make it.
Please say it. We won't get in trouble.
Jackson, man.
You said the F word a couple weeks ago. It can't be that bad.
It is a device that is placed on a part of your body.
The hand? Is it your hand or?
No, Ken. No. It's not a watch. It's not your hand. But if you keep thinking along those lines,
Ken, he was a diabetic. It's one of those Dexcom devices.
What'd you say, Dexcom?
Yeah, one of the.
Okay, then that's not what it is. Anyway, it's one of those. A black foxtail.
Okay.
He was also wearing a foxtail, which was protruding from his posterior.
Wow.
Which is officially in the police report.
Well, was that also with the device that was otherwise aforementioned?
No. This was a different device that I'm just not going to get into how the foxtail was attached.
Right.
But think of the worst possible way that it could be attached.
Oh.
And that's how it was attached.
Sewn on? Oh, no, it was screen printed, Kim.
Okay.
That's bad quality.
Okay, think of the second worst way that it could be attached. It wasn't sewn on to his posterior.
It was inserted.
Oh, no.
Well, gosh, Ken. I mean, yes.
Oh, that'd keep the tail there for a little while.
He tucked his tail between his legs.
Yeah.
Smith, who works as a wedding DJ, allegedly tried to evade police, who initially discovered him inside the Indian Riverside Park in Jensen Beach, Florida. He was eventually apprehended. Listen, based on what he was wearing and where it was, I don't think this dude could run.
I was getting ready to say.
If you know what I'm saying. A witness dialed 911 to report suspicious individual with his organs exposed and was in the park to pick up their kids from summer camp at a museum, but said that no children witnessed the event. Asked by police, this is my favorite. Police reportedly asked Mr. Smith, "What's going on today?" That's a quote from the report. He's wearing women's lingerie, genitals exposed, fake breast, and a tail coming out of his.
Oh, you missed one. What was the other thing?
Yeah, right. And it's, hey, what's going on today? Cops have such a bad. If God love you. I mean, I don't even know how y'all do it.
How we doing today?
How we doing today? Smith reportedly said that he suffers from a sexual addiction and was engaging in lewd behavior because it amuses and arouses him.
You don't say.
Anyway, just a long story short, because we're running late, Mr. Smith was incarcerated, and he's sentenced to 6 months in jail in 2017. He's expected to be sentenced for any variety of charges, to include exposure of his sexual organs. That's how we play Nincompoops in the News. It's 54 after the hour. You get to vote. I don't know that I would vote for mine because it's way too, I think it's too much for Nincompoops. That was too much. You can vote me, vote Jackson, vote Kenneth Weaver. It is 54 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.